Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Arika binti Mufaiz. I'm from J4BA 1173A. Today I will be presenting about the macroeconomic problem trade cycle. Trade cycle is the fluctuation in economic activities, especially in unemployment, output and income, prices, and profit. Trade cycle represents how economic growth can fluctuate within different stages. There are four stages of trade cycle. The first stage is called recovery. Recovery is the early stage where entrepreneur will increase the level of investment, and in return, the employment and income will also increase. Second is called boom. Boom refers to the investment rate. In this period of boom, the economy will exceed the level of full employment and enters a stage of over full employment. The third stage is recession. Recession is the order of raw materials will be decreased. This may also reduce the investment, employment, and production. The employment will fall, which also may fall into income, expenditure, price, and profit. Lastly is the depression. Depression is a general fall in an economic activity. Everything will fall, the production, employment, and income. Also, the price will fall and purchasing power will also fall. In this COVID-19 pandemic has made Malaysia trade slow down. Export has fallen to 1.5% to 84.1 billion in January against the 2.7% in December. And the import has going down 2.4% to 72 billion against the 1% increase in December, which led by the capital goods. Now I will pass to my friend.
Hi, my name is Hudadidi Binti Jamil. I will present about current issue of trade cycle during COVID-19 outbreaks. The first issue is Malaysia's trade is slowed down. The reason why this is happening because Malaysia started rejecting entry of cruise ships operated via China during the COVID-19 outbreak period, as the government started taking even stricter control measures to contain further spread. Due to that, it can cut the international supply chains and it could also affect the efficiency and effectiveness of the dry bulk cargo operation, especially in ports. Next, Malaysia's economy will be affected due to the rapid slowdown of China's global trade activities. The impact of factory shutdowns will reduce global ocean container volumes, which is a major piece of global trade. Means this will give impacts to the Malaysia's trade as the trade will slow down too as well as China's. This is because our country can no longer trade with China as they have to stop their operations due to COVID-19 outbreak. Furthermore, Malaysia's trade is transmitted through disruptions in services like transportation and logistics, which can lead to general increases in domestic and international transaction costs. Trade in services of Malaysia will become more complicated than trade in merchandise goods, as workers have to lock their up during MCO. The second issue is the country's exports decline. The outbreak have disrupted global production and consumptions as price trends were also deflationary driven by cheaper raw material and other input costs courtesy of a weak demand. This was compounded by shortages of raw material amid a transportation system that was heavily curbed. Furthermore, as well as lockdowns here and also in overseas market have hurt demand. New orders have fallen sharply dragged down by domestic and overseas clients that were forced to close operations. This was expected to have a negative knock-on effect to the rest of the export-dependent countries, including Malaysia. This is because Malaysia is also among the economies highest connected to global supply chains.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Sarah binti Abdul Rahim and I'm from J4BA11738A. Today I will continue the presenting about the current issue of trade cycle. The third issue of trade cycle is import droplet. Malaysia's import fell 2.4% to RM72.1 billion in January 2020, compared with the market consensus of a 1.8% drop, reversing from a 0.9% rise in December. This is because in 2019 December, nothing happened in Malaysia. However, by 2020 January, due to the occurrence of the COVID outbreak 19, it will be difficult to import goods overseas as this outbreak is so dangerous that all trade activity in Malaysia are declining. And then, the department said the decrease in import was mainly attributed to lower purchases of capital and consumption goods. The problem is that their income is linked between their demand for cheap goods and expensive ones. Therefore, as their income decreases, demand for imported goods also decreases. And then, in the event of economic downturns, long-term capital import will also show a slower recovery in investment. That means when Malaysia is depleted of money due to the economic downturn, Malaysia wants to recover investment in Malaysia is slim because if it wants to import goods from abroad, Malaysia needs a lot of capital. Okay, next current issue of trade cycle is disrupting global production and consumption. Global production is a concept in developmental literature which refers to the nexus of interconnected function, operation, and transaction, so that when the trading cycle weakens, production in Malaysia will also be disrupted. And then, Malaysia is home to a number of global manufacturing giants and is poised to take full advantage of trade changes. But when Malaysia is in trouble, the opportunity to make the money is slim and the Malaysian economy will also go down. So, so the selling activities are not possible due to COVID outbreak that have plagued Malaysia and other countries. Our activity depends on the fact that we need to protect our health from the fatal COVID outbreak 19. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aini Patricia binti Ramli from J4BA11738A. So for my part, I will present this topic, measure to overcome the macroeconomics problem. Okay. So how to overcome the problem? Okay, we can use monetary policy. This method will expand the money supply by lowering the required reserve ratio, which is the amount of reserve that the banks must keep on hand at the end of each day. The lower the required reserve ratio, the more the central bank can give the loans. Central bank will lower the interest rate, so this will allow the borrowers to take out a bigger loan. When this borrow and borrowing stage happen, the supply chain will keep going and will help the economy to maintain the flow. Okay, next, reduce quantities or price of imports. Activities like import and export are slowly to decline. This happens because transportation like airplane, ship, lorry that are used for transport goods are stopped due to movement control order, also known as MCO. The government should reduce quantities or price of import. This involves increasing the value of currency to reduce the price of import and hence reduce imported inflation. The The third point is government should postpone some development project. Okay, to overcome this trade cycle issue, government should postpone some development project and reduce its operational in times on inflation. Other than that, government should increase amount of taxes on goods and service to reduce disposable income individual. Meanwhile, the central bank will direct the commercial bank to raise their interest for deposit from the public. Um, the high interest rate will encourage the public to save more and increase the saving level to decrease the aggregate demand and price level. Okay. Second last point, which is businessmen should develop contingency plans. Okay. Aside from government, businessmen out there must be prepared to make sure that your company can weather any storm. This is because right now, due to COVID-19, there are many unpredictable and unavoidable challenges, which is why it's so important to develop contingency plan before disaster strike. But it's never too late to start planning. If you didn't already have strategy, invest in one now. Anticipate different phases of disruption and be ready to activate multiple contingencies based on the gravity of the situation. Okay, to the last point, find an alternative of the product. It does sound easy, but finding an alternative manufacturer or distributor can be quite difficult depending on the product. An alternative outside of China for clothing or kitchen utensil is relatively easy. India, Peru, Bangladesh, and Turkey, as example, have option. But if the Malaysia import electronic, the option outside China, like South Korea, Japan, will likely cost 50% more. So this can have some unintended benefits, such as shorter shipping time, lower custom duties, and cheaper replacement costs. Okay, that's it for my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Risha, to your explanation. We move to conclusion. In conclusion, due to COVID-19 pandemic, many trade in Malaysia getting slow. Many companies need to stop their operate their product because people can go out, even go to work. So the effect is import and export are getting slowed down. So because import and export are slowed down, many people cannot survive their life. So, central bank take initiative to introducing a stimulus package. Because this package people can carry on and survive their life. Lastly, because Malaysia, as we know, Malaysia and Chinese very close and always collaboration. So, because pandemic COVID-19, many factor in Chinese need to close. So, because they need to close, we we cannot produce and cannot import and export product to Chinese. So that's all from my part and my group. So thank you.